Okay. Once again, good evening. I think people can switch off their mobile and pay attention because today's subject is very, very important. I know you will pay a lot of attention. Your mobile phone will be off. Excuse me, may I request you for your attention, please? I request the people to switch off their mobile phone and pay attention so that we'll start the program. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Good evening to every one of you, and today is another interesting event for you. And this event we brought to you especially because we thought the immunity intelligence is very, very important as much as other intelligence, corporate intelligence, what you have. It could be in finance, it could be strategy, but unless you have the immunity intelligence, it's going to be difficult. But before I call upon the distinguished, very, very high-profile panel, let me briefly tell you what's going to happening in MMA next few days. One is 27th, we are the Future Ready Leaders. It's going to be happening at Pondicherry. It's happening on tomorrow. On 4th of July, our MMA AGM and award function is happening here. We have Dr. Sunita Reddy, Managing Director of Apollo Hospital, the chief guest, along with Kamal Bali, who is the President Managing Director of Volvo. Then on Tuesday, 8th July, this is a subject on popular demand we are doing. It's under MMA CFO forum. Capital gains rewired. What you must know before filing ITR financial year 24-25. A lot of changes have come in ITR 24-25, a lot of confusion. We thought we must help our corporate leaders, individuals, to how to navigate this important. So it's a program, Capital Gains Rewired, happening on 8th. TG Suresh along with his team will be sharing their perspective. 12th, we have again discussion on the road ahead. This most probably is happening IIT Madras. I'll tell you more details. On 19th, we have another event on the nurturing quotient of how to grow yourself and others. Leadership for Success. We got 3 outstanding speakers, Nirupama Subramaniam, Rajesh and Satya Sriram. Then again on 23rd of July, we have Srinivasa Ram Prasad leading the book review, Read and Grow series, and because we strongly believe to be a great leader, you have to be a great reader. That subject what we are going to be discussing is multipliers, how the best leaders make everyone smarter. There's a book which you're going to be discussing. Then on 28th of July, again, an excellent event is on the review and site of enablers for success of execution by Venkat Changnahalli. So these are all the number of events what's happening, and we also finalize event for the month of August and September. So on the 4th of July, we look forward to seeing you. Coming to today's event, Immunity Intelligence. All the viewers watching the program live, as usual, if you have any questions, please send it to the QR code what is shown on your screen. All the people who are here, I want our members to get used to this QR code because the Mentimeter has been invested and brought to you only for your sake, because I always find when I hand over the microphone for questions, it becomes another lecture from the other side. It's very difficult to control. That's the reason all the committee members unanimously decided we must use the Mentimeter. We must use technology so that the questions can be crisp. When you write short sentences. It's easy for the speaker to understand and respond to all your questions. I'm quite sure our members are very, very cooperative. We will send you all your questions in Mentimeter. But I get a lot of questions online, all Mentimeter, quite a number of them. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together to welcome and on stage the outstanding panel for this evening. Let me call first Dr. Suresh Kumar because he's the only man out here. All other 3 are... let me invite him. We once in a while get a chance to do that. Dr. Suresh Kumar. Then we have Mr. Dr. Daphnee, Dietitian from Apollo Hospitals, Madhumitha, Senior Consultant and Infectious Disease from MGM Healthcare, and Dr. Lakshmi Nair, Head of Physical Medicine Rehabilitation from Apollo. Ladies and gentlemen, very, very round of applause. I know at the end of the program, your applause will be double because they are going to tell you sit back and relax and eat and sleep, whatever you want. But that's not going to come. They are all well prepared with the slides and a lot of information. I can tell you the event today is really very, very insightful and thought-provoking because many things, at least I never knew all this because we are all health freak and so much of medical checkup happening, armed forces, very tough. But some of the things what I've seen is really, really outstanding. Now, before let me have the privilege of welcoming Mr. Mahalingam. He's the president of Madras Management Center, and he's also been a president, very, very rare, happened in MMA, 2 years tenure, he's been president, and he runs, is head of TSM group of companies, he's done his masters from IIM Calcutta, and also graduation. And any place where you want to know something to be done, Mali is the man who will be there because he is the one who is great source of inspirational help to us because he knows so many people, well connected, very knowledgeable, very intellectual. Let me have the privilege of welcoming and inviting Mali to deliver the formal welcome address. Mr. Mali.
Good evening, everybody. Warm welcome to all of you. I've never felt so overwhelmed. Sharing stage with 4 doctors is not something I imagined I would do. I normally avoid seeing doctors because I don't want an opportunity to see doctors. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And it's normally in the Madras Management Station, we focus on management, corporate, creating wealth, and stuff like that. See, me and Mr. Vijay Kumar, Group Captain Vijay Kumar, have been talking about it. I think along with the wealth, there should be a focus on health as well. So that's one of the reasons we are doing this program. And Vijay Kumar has always had because he's done programs with Dr. Suresh Kumar. And I was telling Dr. Vijay Kumar, this should be an opportunity to do more with a special focus. Thanks, Group Captain Vijay Kumar. Is always upfront in leading the charge. Thank you. It's my privilege to welcome all of you to what promises to be an insightful and more important knowledge-giving session, Immunity Intelligence, Wellness Strategies for High Performance Living. Look at what we have done at the MMA. We've converted medicine to a management topic. Thanks, Vijay Kumar. Only you are capable of doing that. High performance in medicine. So anyway, welcome, doctors. Suresh Kumar, Managing Director, Best of Ideals. Thank you, Dr. Suresh Kumar, for doing this for us. You are a familiar face at MMA. We would like to do more with you. Dr. Daphnee, Lovesley, Dietician, Apollo Hospitals, Chennai. I think you should be much in demand because there's so much happening on the diet side. Dr. Madhumitha, Senior Consultant, Infectious Disease and Infectious Control, MGM Healthcare. Thank you, Dr. Madhumitha. I should mention here, she was my COVID doctor. Okay. And my mother is an 82-year-old lady, and the only person who can reassure her if she has a problem is Dr. Madhumitha. Whenever she feels down, I take her to Dr. Madhumitha and she feels better for the next week at least. Thank you, Dr. Madhumitha, for doing this for us. Really appreciate it. Dr. Lakshmi Nair, Head of Physical Medicine Rehabilitation, Apollo, Chennai. Thank you again. The reason for doing this, as I mentioned earlier, is that I think immunity as an idea hit us on our face with COVID, basically. Till COVID, the immunity was something which we heard of. But we experienced what immunity meant during COVID, and those who didn't get COVID had more immunity maybe, or they were lucky not to, but it made us all aware with the mask and all that what immunity meant, and that was a wake-up call in many ways because it was really tough times for all of us. And so at that level, COVID was an eye-opener. Even in organizations, even in management today, with increasing stress and long working hours, wellness, both physical and mental, are a stress today. And in earlier days, a health checkup used to be at the time of joining. I think it's much more today. There's a constant, organizations want the employees to be healthy mentally and physically. So I think there's increased focus among corporates also. So obviously immunity being a big factor. And me and as Mr. Vijay Kumar and I discussed, immunity is no longer just resistance. It's much more, it's the strength builder. So we thought that it would be a nice idea to do this. And from personally a point of view, I was discussing with them before I got in, there's so many myths being propagated online on diets, on immunity, what boosts immunity. If I have to believe what comes online, I should be drinking turmeric all day, for example, to boost immunity. And I should be eating only protein all day to lose weight. So there are many myths, I think, for all of us, including those watching online. It's important to hear it actually from the people who practice this, rather than all the pop doctors and pop dietitians and pop whatever you call them. I think it is important to demystify many of those things, and nothing like a session and hearing it from the experts. So thank you for doing this again. About the Madras Management Association, formed in 1956, 59 years old now. 10 chapters, now 2 chapters opened recently, correct Vijay Kumar? Below being to 8,000 members and 14 times consecutive winner of the Best Local Management Award from the All India Management Association. So we have managed to achieve that thanks due to the variety of programs we offer, the initiatives we take, and the leadership of this man, Group Captain Vijay Kumar and his team. Thank you, Group Captain Vijay Kumar. Yeah. So welcome all of you. I'm sure at the end of it, as I said at the beginning, we'll definitely be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mali, for setting the context, and thank you also for pushing me that we must have this event, and your pushes cannot be nearly ignored. And really, I got pushed so much that we got some outstanding event end up for this evening. Before I will go to request them and also introduce all the speakers, all AV, I want to share what happened with me when I was a cadet. I was an Air Force officer. I must tell, this is my first experience with the doctor in the Air Force Academy, and we went and always we try to share, get some, life is so tough, we want to do that. So when I report doctor, severe stomach pain, totally, doctor said, oh, stomach pain. He didn't even talk to me actually, but I had little stomach pain, not this, totally is not a lie. Then he said, okay, do one thing. He gave me some eye drops, then he gave me some cover. He said, doctor, you are giving me eye drops. I got a severe pain in stomach actually. No. I given correctly. Just go there, put this eye drops and close your eyes, cover this and you will be all right. I said, why eye drop, doctor? My thing. I said, you bugger, I don't know, with this eyes only you have seen that in eating, no? So if your eyes is okay, you won't eat all that muck what you eat and come with a stomach pain. So my doctor experience, since then I realized I must really watch it very carefully before what I eat actually. This is how we learn in our Air Force Academy. May I the AV please?
Dr. Suresh Kumar is a Chennai-based infectious disease specialist with over 23 years of experience and managing director of Best of IDs. An MBBS and MD, he is known for his expertise in complex infections and patient-centric care. Dr. Suresh received the Young Investigator Award from the International AIDS Society in 2007. Certified in tropical medicine, Dr. Suresh remains a respected voice in global infectious disease management. Dr. Daphnee Lovesley, PhD, RD, is a senior dietitian at Apollo Hospitals, Chennai, with over 27 years of experience. Dr. Daphnee specializes in managing chronic conditions like CKD, liver disease, and pancreatitis through personalized nutrition plans. Her patient-centric approach is rooted in evidence-based strategies for long-term health. Dr. Daphnee is also an active researcher and member of leading medical associations. Dr. Madhumitha is a senior consultant in infectious diseases and infection control at NGM Healthcare, Chennai. Dr. Madhumitha specializes in treating infections in both immunocompetent and immunocompromised patients with expertise in HIV, transplant ID, and antimicrobial stewardship. A published researcher and conference speaker, Dr. Madhumitha is known for her clinical acumen and empathetic, collaborative approach to patient care. Dr. Lakshmi Nair is Head of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation at Apollo Hospitals, Chennai, with over a decade of experience in managing pain and physical disabilities. An MBBS and MD in PM and R, Dr. Lakshmi is also an overseas trained physician from Australia. Known for her holistic and patient-centric approach, she provides personalized rehab solutions using advanced techniques. Dr. Lakshmi is multilingual and deeply committed to improving quality of life through rehabilitation.
Ladies and gentlemen, very warm round of applause for the outstanding panel what we have today. I am quite sure it will be a thought-provoking insights. Many of you will learn when you step out of this auditorium after the event. I'm quite sure you'll become more wiser, more knowledgeable. I'm quite sure you're going to take care of your health so much, and not only your health, your people around you will take care of health. Now I request Suresh to take it forward, the session, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Good evening, one and all. I sincerely thank the Madras Management Association, particularly President Dr. Master Mahalingam sir and Group Captain Vijay Kumar sir for giving this wonderful opportunity. So I'm an MMA member there. So we do a lot of programs through my startup call. I'm a doctor entrepreneur there. I got a startup called Best of Ideas there. We are transforming infectious diseases care to the most of the people. I'll come back explain what we do in a couple of minutes later there. Before that disclosure, this is a disclosure of me. People are talking about infectious diseases. How many know what is infectious diseases? Because my daughter used to find very difficult to explain what specialty your father is practicing there. When somebody asks infectious diseases means what infectious diseases? We know cardiologists, we know gastroenterologists, we know neurologists also, nephrologists also. But what is this infectious disease? ID guys. So what is ID guys? What do you mean by thing? So she explained that. She said, please change your specialty there. That's what she used to keep on telling me that. It's very difficult for me to do. So, and I put something called, because I'm talking in a management association, so we need to talk in terms of some intelligence questions and emotional questions we want to know. This is called HIM. What is HIM? All stuck management. This is husband management questions with wife there. So I know how to tackle. So if I know this one, it's easy to tackle anything there. That's what we used to say there. All husbands know this tackle there. All married men knows this one. So this is most intelligent needed for us. Okay. Then I call about, what about ID specialist there? Infectious disease doctor. In short, we are fever specialists there. Any fevers from 1 day fever to 10 years fever or 25 years fever also we tackle it. That's more important. We don't deal small fevers like dengue, malaria, chikungunya. This is bread and butter for other physicians. But we do complicated stuff like transplant fevers, HIV fevers, and hospital fevers, nosocomial fevers. Even corona gave a lot of idea about what is infectious diseases there. We are the specialists for dealing with COVID and corona. But unfortunately, if you see our earning, we are in the bottom. So the specialty doesn't earn, it's like a HIV, ID, these are the specialty, we don't make money. But we try to solve the problems. Any problem, anybody has got it. For example, anybody in the hospital has got fever, and the physician 3 days, up to 3 days, or up to 5 days. You people are happy to go to physicians. The physician's also happy to deal with your fever. Once your fever crosses more than 5 days, both the physician is jittery and you are also jittery. What is going on? So he struggles there. That's the area we can solve. We use our brain. We are not ID, we are CID, we can put it there. How criminal investigations we need to do. Similarly, we investigate your body and tell what is going around, but we don't make big money because we don't do any procedures, so we don't make big money. Okay, so I'm talking in the evening time. I'll just put in a management perspective there. This is a 32-year-old male, CEO, chronic stress, irregular sleep, frequent travel, recurrent colds. Does he need some immunity intelligence for this scan? How many says yes? Or I didn't put your Mentimeter is there, I just forgot the Mentimeter, otherwise I know the response is fine. Show of hands. Another is a 55-year-old female, senior manager, sedentary lifestyle, high carb diet, post-COVID, Jan 22, still fatigue, memory disturbances. Typical post-COVID or long COVID. People say, I used to remember anybody, any name, but now I'm struggling to recall your name there. So people still, lack of taste, lack of smell still going on. This is called long COVID. So 25-year-old management intern, living with pizzas and burgers, pani puris, active in Facebook, Instas and Gen A's. Anything you want, he's not searching Google. He searches only ChatGPT and he searches Perplexity for finance deals there. For everything, on and off diarrhea. What do you think? The pani puri is causing on and off diarrhea there. So it's called classic of typhoid then. 45-year-old female, HR head, post-menopausal, weight gain, 24/7 on mobile, but she got recurrent UTI. UTI is not leaving her. Every third month or every second week, he got UTI. So what do you think? Who needs immunity intelligence here? So third and four, okay. All of the above. Always when you give a multiple choice questions with all of the above, none of the above, always a tempting will be there. So those who hand NEET examinations, this knows. So this is a problem there. And similarly, the first answer is always tempting there. First choice is the best choice, no? So always think about it. And he's a CEO, so whether to give importance to CEO or intern, what are you going to do now? So all of the above is a answer. We need to talk about infections, immunity to everybody. Everyone, whether it's a CEO or intern, I don't bother. We need to talk about immunity to everybody. That is why we are aiming at this one. And second thing, you can't Google it, you can't ChatGPT this one. How to improve your immunity is give a lot of things. My interesting person has told a lot of things is available, a lot of myth is available, a lot of misinformation is available. So we need to sort it out, what is immunity and how to prevent it. And what is your intelligence also, we need to talk about it.
What are all the factors this affect? I do a different stuff, but I'm doing a different thing here. I actually wanted Dr. Madhu to talk this one there. Madhu said, no, I don't want to do this one. My specialty is vaccinations. I go with vaccination there. Because this is the most difficult thing there. So I want to simplify the most difficult thing. That's what I do, this one. Okay. What's basically immunity for you? I need to speak to the management guys, means this is your security guard. So basically it provides your internal security, prevents something coming into your body, one. Second thing, whatever comes, it knocks out as early as possible. And third thing, it has need to be memory. It should have memory, so this thing should not happen. Once it allowed, but next time it should not allow it. So this is basically three things you should do. What are all the types it has got? One is called innate. For example, your skin is a beautiful protection. Beautiful. That's why burns patients suffer a lot of sepsis and a lot of infections. Why? That is one of the first and foremost defense. Unfortunately, we did not know the skin is a good defense. Your lacrimations, your tears is a good immunity. Your saliva has got a good immunity. So these are all called natural innate immunity. They are all non-specific. They can hit anybody, they can prevent anybody. Adaptive is like your AI or is your legal system, your legal team. The legal team scrutinize everything, do perfect things and avoid unnecessary things. That's called your adaptive thing. Once you got it, your immune system start developing it. Sometimes you don't have immunity, but you want to have something, somebody want to give it. That's called passive, getting a loan to solve your problem. Getting an umbrella while walking in the rain, you don't have on it. That's called passive. For example, mother's immunity goes to the child. When the when the baby is delivered, how the baby has got immunity? Nothing. The baby's immune system should develop minimum 5 to 7 years. Till that time, where is the immunity? The breast milk. That is the immunity for the child. That's a child. And second thing, the care of the mother. That's called kangaroo care, we call it that. The mother should closely hold the child, give the comfort. That is the immunity is getting from the mother is called the passive one. Then vaccines, yes, I'll come back a bit last part because that's a favorite for all infectious disease docs. Then goal is we need to fight the immunity and remember the immunity. That's more important for me. So nowadays we are using, previously during COVID time, this is a common scenario. I think MMA also used this one. We did a study there, useless. So don't do this useless. We screened almost 45,000 hospital healthcare workers in my hospitals during COVID wave between 2020 March. I saw my first case of COVID in 2020, March 27 there. So from day onwards, the government insisted to screen everybody with the shooting thing. We shooted. None of the healthcare workers, we shooted the healthcare workers before entering the hospitals, picked up 0. Meantime, almost 65 people admitted with COVID with the healthcare workers, I'm talking about it. And we checked the immunity because that time vaccine was not available. We checked the serological test, 520 people were positive. So the screening is a useless method. Nowadays, what we are using is, in Apollo's, what we are using is camera. If you want to see a healthcare person sick in the ICU, you don't want to go transmit your infections, what we need to do? EICU. We can contact, we can see the patients, we can speak. If the patient is speaking, you can speak. So camera will be there, the patients will be there, we can speak to the patient. It's called ELCU. That's a model we come up. So AI system is coming up similar to what the adaptive immunity. The old one is natural immunity. It's non-specific, not going to help you. Then where is your immune system? People ask, you're talking about immune. Where is my immune system? It is present everywhere in the body. I told you your skin is an immune system, your tears is an immune system, your saliva is an immune system, your blood cells. Particularly one type of blood cells is called white blood cells. Among the white blood cells, one type of cells is called lymphocytes. That is the policeman of your body. That is a policeman of your body. Everything is protective. Everything is an immune system. So if you destroy everything, you going to get infections there. Then can I find out anybody has got immune system deficient? Yes. If you got frequent infections, for example, your colleague is not getting that much infections, there's something I need to think about it. If you got a constant fatigue, for example, post-COVID, what is bothering so many people is tiredness. Previously, they're active, but nowadays they're not active. They can climb 3 stairs, 4 stairs, but even climbing 1 stair is a bit difficult. Second thing is a digestive issues. People keep on complaining, I got indigestions, I got a lot of things is going around. Then anxiety and stress. Muscle shortness, weak and slow. For example, a couple of people got cured with COVID within 2 to 3 days. No need of hospitalizations, no need for ICU. But some people landed in ICU. Some people went into prone ventilation. Some people went into ECMO, one of the advanced form of ventilations people got in. So, but if you come to the ID doc, we can screen you, we can examine you, and we can say whether your immune system is good or not. We don't want any major things, we need to go for it there. But what is intelligence part of it there? We can't use, for example, most of the people, any cough and cold, what do you do? If you got cough and cold, what do you do? Go to the pharmacy shop, ask erythromycin. You know erythromycin, no? How many people doesn't know erythromycin? Everybody, doesn't know erythromycin. Oops. So everybody knows erythromycin. If you go to the pharmacy shop, you got cough and cold, you ask for erythromycin, you can give it. So you can ask it. Azithromycin, you change over there, very good. So it's next generation is coming to market there, that's fine. During COVID time, everybody know doxy, azithro, so that's a fine. So immunity intelligence. Intelligence means it's a common sense. Basically, it's a common sense. How intelligence we can define one term means I can define this is my common sense. When to hit hard, when to keep calm. That's most important thing. I can't use my energy. For example, if I got a fight with my neighbor, I can't take my gun and shoot the guy. I need to know when to fight and when not to fight. That's most important thing. That is called immunity intelligence. That's what we are talking now. So why immunity intelligence? Corona we know. So COVID came. It doesn't bother about whether you are CEO, whether you are intern, whether you are a president, we do not know. Dengue does not skip your boardrooms. Definitely it won't skip. TB doesn't only go to the government hospitals. Amitabh Bachchan has got twice TB. He's a TB ambassador now. So don't think only for tuberculosis means lower socioeconomical group. People say it's a stigma. TB means it's a stigma. How can I get a TB? Nobody in my family has got TB. If I say TB diagnosis, I say nobody in the family has got. How it is related to the family, we do not know. Yes, if one person has got TB in the family, he can cough, sneezes. If you share the same person's room, you are going to get TB chances a bit high. But it doesn't run in the genes. More important thing. This is basically airborne disease, transmitted through the cough, sneeze and everything. So TB doesn't need only government hospitals. And immunity is an ultimate equalizer. Definitely Amazon cannot give your immunity intelligence there. You can order anything in Amazon, but you can't get immunity intelligence to Amazon. So far, I have not seen there. Anybody ordered immunity intelligence in Amazon? Books can come, but it won't give the real immunity for you. Then we are living in the Swiggy, Zomato, Netflix era. Your second brain is a gut. The gut has got more million cells and it protects you there. Unfortunately, people don't respect the gut. That's the most important thing. 70% of immune cells is present in the gut. It has got access. It is constantly talking to the brain. That's called gut-brain access. Whatever you are eating, it will speak to the brain. It keeps the immune system commonly working. Antibiotics, whatever erythromycin, azithromycin you eat, that kill the gut bacteria. Your gut contains a lot of bacteria. More than number of people in the Chennai, number of bacteria is present in your gut. So the gut bacteria is killed. A lot of good bacteria are present. Don't say bacteria means bad. Bacteria is present in the gut, make your digestion easy, make your life easy. But what happened, unfortunately, what you are eating that kills the good bacteria, keep the bad bacteria growing. What is the end results? Not the diarrhea. We are worried about more of colorectal cancers. Colorectal cancers is going up because of your bad bacteria. An amount of plastics, what we are consuming as a microplastics there. So these are all the issues. Also, bad one will grow, good one will go down. Depends upon what you are eating. That's most important thing. But unfortunately, antibiotic does not know which is good, which is bad. I do not know in the figure which is good, which is bad. So similarly, the antibiotic does not go which is good, which is bad. It hit all the bacteria. That's the problem. And similarly, we live in the era of WhatsApp. WhatsApp University is a big university. Anything you want, you can quote the WhatsApp University. So people, flu spreads slower, but the panic spreads faster. That's a basic problem we are living in 2025. During COVID time, everybody knows it. And similarly, people say children does not have immunity. I'm 60 plus, why should my immunity goes down? We started without teeth. We started without hair. We started with diaper. Same thing, we are ending with the same thing. We are losing our teeth, we are losing our hair, we are losing our continence potentials, we are landing in a diaper. So both children and adults are behaving, particularly elderly people are behaving like a same thing. The immune system gone and immune system gone down. This is basic idea. And similarly, what is the impact of the infectious diseases? This is a real impact. 1918, we see, this is a word of 1980. 1918, not 1980, it's 1918. This is an influenza ward. Pandemic of influenza killed so many people, but 2009 came back influenza, the death is not that much. Similarly, when you are studying in a class, one of your classmates is a polio affected. But now your children or grandchildren are studying, how many polio affected children are there in the school now? Polio is a travel vaccinations. If you want to travel to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Africa, you need to take your polio as a travel vaccines. For India, we are doing for eradications only. Similarly, this is a ward called tetanus ward. So tetanus ward, I got posted in the tetanus ward, but now in government hospital, there is no tetanus ward. Because awareness is so much. Any injury people want to go to the doctor, take TT. Tetanus toxoid, I want to take it. Similarly, a lot of brain infections has gone down because of the vaccinations. So if we know how to use our immune system, we can get away with this type of diseases there. And before I set into the tone, this is a tone. This is a number of doctors who died during the COVID wave 1. So why this keynote 1? I put just wave 1 only. I have not put COVID wave 2. Wave 2 is a bad one. The Delta wave in 2021, no oxygen, no hospital beds, no doctors, everything. This is wave 1, where a lot of beds, a lot of oxygen, a lot of things is available at that point of time. So many doctors within, these publications happened in July 2020. I remember June 2020 or July 2020. Within 3 months of COVID came into the market. So what happened? Why so many doctors has lost their life? The basic principle in infectious disease, this is a basic principle. That's called standard precautions we can call. Assume everybody has got COVID. That point of time, the doctor should assume everybody. People like me, we worked in the COVID ward, we didn't get COVID. People who didn't work in the COVID ward, they got COVID. Why? We assumed everybody has got COVID when I went into the COVID ward. People say, I don't want to go to the COVID ward. I don't want to get COVID. So people working away from the COVID ward. So they say, I'm seeing not COVID cases only there. It's very difficult to predict. The idea is standard precaution means assume everybody. For example, if I'm going to draw a blood sample from you, I need to think your blood contains HIV. If your blood contains HIV, what I need to do? I need to wear a glove. But by the way, don't worry, we treat 25,000 patients with HIV. We don't stigmatize, we don't discriminate. In my OP, if you come there, 15 people are sitting, 3 people is HIV. Who is HIV, who is not HIV? We do not know. We don't discriminate. We don't. We do for bypass. We do everything for HIV patients. HIV is nothing now. It's very easy to treat HIV compared to diabetes. Diabetes needs so much of medicines, so much of investigations. HIV needs once in a year testing. The cost of the pill is only 1 pill, not even 10 pills, only 1 pill. Now injections is coming to the market. If you take on injection, 6 months it will work. So HIV is getting a cure also. So don't think about it. Assume your blood contains HIV. If your blood is containing HIV, I need to wear a glove. Unless I wear a glove, if some needle stick happened to me, I'll get HIV. So this is called standard precautions. Unfortunately, the doctor lost their life because they do not know what is standard precautions. So what affects your immunity? These are all the things. Genetic makeup. People are calling, why I am getting so much of infections? Why my infection is severe? Don't think, don't blame. Your genes should be blamed there. Your age, I told young people and older people. People got comorbid conditions. For example, you got a diabetes, poorly controlled. Yes. Your habits, I'll come back to the habits. Long-term stress and poor sleep. Most of the CEOs, how much hours they're sleeping? 5.5 hours. Your vaccinations history, pandemics. So this is your boost your immunity. A lot of talks is going to happen with my colleagues, so I don't want to take time on this one. What affects your immunity? External factors. The food you eat, junk food, all your pizzas and burgers. Anything is white is bad. People say, the vadivedha comedy. But that's a thing there. That's a moral of the story. You need to do it there. So all white is bad for you there. So this place, anybody can guess what is this place? I give it a clue. So any guts, any thoughts? Anybody from South Chennai? This is alma mater for me there. People worked in government setup. People learned the medicine. People learned this is a setup there. This is called the famous TB sanatorium. The TB sanatorium, if you cross the Tambaram area, the sanatorium will be there. And this is a famous ward. In 2002, 2003, we see a lot of HIV patients. Each bed is occupied by 3 HIV patients. There is no beds. 100 and 150 patients of HIV will be there. All sorts of infection. They are the most immunodeficiency persons we can encounter. For example, I told the white blood cells. Normal white blood cells is 6,000 to 10,000. 4,000 to 10,000, you can keep it. In that, the lymphocyte count is almost 1,500 to almost 1,000 to 1,500 is the lymphocytes. When I saw the patients, first 250 patients, we started the medications. What is the lymphocytes? Any guesses? 0. The HIV killed all the lymphocytes. The person presents without any immune system. They are vulnerable to any infections. If you cough, you can pick up anything there. So that's the populations we encountered in 2002, 2003 because the medication was not available. They waited for a good medications. They tried Ayurveda, Siddha, everything. Immune system gone down. They started with the CD4 count of 0. So we started the medications. The person slowly improved. That's what it happened to them. So what's the point I'm telling? Why people in 1975, what is the treatment for TB? Anybody? Yes, put him in the sanatorium. Give good ventilations. Yeah. 2 eggs in the morning, 2 eggs in the night, 6 glasses of milk. Now I am giving lot of TB medications. TB treatment first is a nutrition there. Take 2 egg whites or at least 3 egg whites, 6 glasses of milk. If you eat, yes, TB is cured. Put in a sanatorium, provide a good air. So ventilation system. This ward constructions, people does not know how to construct the places there. Tall ceiling, opposite window, it dilutes the thing. But now people are putting air conditions, people are removing all the things in all corporate hospitals. But what is required is this is a simple logic. So ventilation is a way forward. I can show the ventilations. So this is a people living there here. So this is a complex flats. Everybody wants flats. Security guard, 24/7 power supply. But what is way forward is homes is good, house is good. That's most important thing. We need to live in a forest. That's the best way, because I need to have, when I was young, I used to grow a banyan tree in front of us there. But now I'm living with at least neem tree in front of me there. So I need to take like a bath in well water. Unfortunately, nobody well is available there in Chennai. And we need to have a tall ceilings. Sunlight should wake me up in the morning. And my dresses should dried in the sunlight. That's the best anti-infective thing there. But most of the thing, the flats are showing your dresses are dried up in a closed room there. But my dresses are dried up in a sunlight. That's most important thing. And people say, wash your hands when come back. Why? When you go there, people are coughing, sneezing, laughing, handling lot of things. You wash your germs. Whether Lifebuoy clears your bugs or not, ordinary water can clear a lot of bugs. So wash. These are all things the ancient Tamil people know very well what they need to do. All are applied, but unfortunately we lost the thing there. Apply these concepts. If you apply these concepts, you can get away with it and your immunity is good. And this is a toilet system created by architects. How many restrooms and bathrooms has got this type of open windows? We are feeding in a 6x3 there. But I take bath in my sunlight, I take bath in my moon, so my bathroom roof is like a roofless. No can. This is the roof I am seeing there. This is the thing I'm taking a bath in my sunlight there. I take in a rain bath, which is nothing there. So what is needed, whether you take a sun bath or moon bath, take a Saturday oil bath. That's more important for me. It gives a lot of microbiome, massaging, improving your blood supply, giving a lot of nutrition to the things, and remove more dirt also. That's most important thing. You need to apply pressure over it there. So take a Saturday oil bath there. And this is a traditional Indian food, fermenters. All Indian things are applied there. How the fermented idlis and dosas, what we do is good for your health. Unfortunately, people gone into pizzas, burgers and barotas. That's more important for us. I think next speaker can allude more on it. I can't speak this one. So this is what our microbiome. I'm worried about my microbiome. I don't worry about your barotas or pizzas. I'm worried about your microbiome. I told gut is your second brain. It contains more bacteria compared to any other things. So the bacteria are helping you, digesting you, preventing cancer from you. How you are getting cancers nowadays? 30, 20, 40 is more common because of the habit what we are eating now. Why it matters? So almost all Swiggies and Zomatos, any restaurants, these people are standing in front of you, delivering you. But unfortunately, my grandma's cook or my mother's or I put my thing is wifey there, best cook in my home. She is the best person there. I never eat out there. She take care of my food there. So how to protect and improve your gut? Eat natural fiber-rich foods. Fermented foods is required. Curd is more important. Buttermilk is more important. Limit processed food there. Sleep well. Move your body. Anything prepared by your mom, grandma, or my wife is better thing there. She is good. That's what I can say. And this is a thing, if you go Saturday, couple of areas I can put in Chennai. Can you label which is the worst areas? Which is the worst area? People are eating lots. Everyone in Chennai. But rank it. Anna Nagar comes first to me there. All restaurants you can't get into the 6 or 8 o'clock in Saturday night. Next one is Srinagar. So people knows all restaurants we need to wait for minimum 45 minutes to entry there. Even pre-booking is not allowed now. So people are doing this one there. So what is the secret of long healthy life? I'm coming to the conclusion part because I'm taking so much of time. How to live not 100 years. How to live 115 years. Now the aim is not 100, 115, 120. So people are restricting to 100. You need to live 115 to 120. Vaccination is the way forward. Vaccination is the way forward. Healthy eating is the way forward. So this is a screenshot. If you are above, I think Dr. Madhu will talk about this one. What are all the vaccines required for you people? Clearly shown about it there. So if you take vaccines, you can live up to the 115 years of age. 115 years of age, that's guarantee there. Be aware. Know the warning signs. Fever, fatigue, throat, rashes, yes. Early testing may be required. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. That's the only take-home message I can say. I'm an ID doc. I never write antibiotics. If I go see 10 patients in me, refer to me. When I go, stop antibiotics. Stop antibiotics. To write stop antibiotics, we need a lot of guts. That guts is there with infectious disease docs. And a lot of pressures. Pediatric doctors, every day, mothers and pressures, parents are putting right antibiotic. Antibiotic is not a sweet. So this is the same take-home message what we taught in our schools. safe water, good ventilations, good sleep, eat healthy, you'll be all right there. So what is the way forward? Because this is a management guys, I'm talking there. So what is a problem? This is a problem I told. This is the solutions. Involve, for example, constructions of your office needs a lot of thought process. How to construct your office, how to construct your rooms, how to do, when you got an outbreak, what you need to do. We need to have somebody supporting system like ID docs can help you out there. So keep in mind, this is a way forward. So no lockdowns, no confusions, and smarter and healthier life. Resilient organizations need by somebody thought process. So the key is always alert. Put your vaccinations, not a mask. Mask is also needed. Put your mask when it's required. So that's the take home message for you, that take your vaccinations, what is required for you. Eat at a right place, at right cook and right food. I know yesterday some marketing mixology meeting has happened there. Somebody attended, so they will fear today what is immunity is going around there. We are taking the questions at the end, happy to take the questions. Those who want to learn more about infections, immunity, this is a message, you can send it to you there. Screen it, you can get a lot of information there. Thanks for the opportunity. I think we overshoot it there. Thank you very much.
Namaste, good evening. I hope you all had a good evening snack before walking in. No, only I didn't have, all of you had. Thank you, Captain Vijay Kumar, for the invite. Thank you, Dr. Suresh, for connecting me with Captain Vijay Kumar. So, Dr. Suresh did give you hints as to what is important. So in his line, I'm going to continue. Eat to beat, fueling immunity with intentional nutrition. What is your intention? Is it junk food or healthy eating? Healthy eating, good. So that makes my life easy. So how strategic food choices elevate immunity, focus and energy. This is what is the topic given to me. So, whatsoever was the father of the disease, an ill diet is the mother. Yes? How many of you agree with me on this? Only a few hands are going up. You're all very good people who eat all healthy stuff, is it? Because any, disease condition you take, whether it is a cardiac or a diabetes or any non-communicable diseases, you will find an ill diet being a causative factor. And diet by itself can become a preventive or a healing diet also. So it is intentional eating, right? What you pick up is very, very important. The food that you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. What are you choosing? It's up to you. And why are we talking so much of, on immunity, good eating habits? It's all to make sure we live long and we lead a healthy life. And you should know that nutrition plays a pivotal role for longevity, significantly impacting life expectancy and quality. And when we talk about nutrition, it is a holistic approach. It's beyond the meals that you eat, because you need to integrate it with lifestyle, whether it is stress management or physical activity or your sleep pattern. It all comes together in order to lead a healthy life. And when we talk about intentional eating, what you pick up has to, connect with your performance, your immunity, and it should really give you some clarity, not, fogginess. So Dr. Suresh did speak about immune system. I'm not going to go much into it. It is related to gut, and gut, when you talk about gut, it is related to your food. That's the main place which digests. So whatever we eat, makes a big difference to your gut health, and there's a lot of research going on in this aspect. And the solution to improving or sustaining a better immunity is, one is exercise, the next one is sleep, and last but not the least, the diet is very, very important, and that's the 3 components which you can control more than anything else. So it can be good food for your gut, and those food items which can strengthen your immunity. As Dr. Suresh mentioned, there is a close connect between gut and brain axis. The gut and brain talks to each other like how we talk over phone. So when your gut is happy and healthy, overall system is happy. So when you look at the microbiome, our system is made of 100 trillion microbes, more than the human cells. So there are good bacteria, bad bacteria. You need to focus on good bacteria. So eat at least 1 meal every day to strengthen your immunity. The first thing that you need to do is the probiotics. Doctor did mention about fermented foods. Yes, of course, a healthy gut microbiome is essential for immune function, nutrient absorption, and overall well-being. Incorporating fermented foods. It can be idli, dosa, curds, or anything that is fermented, even palaya sadam, right? That's a fermented one. So all these can be part of a good eating habit, but as discussed, we are drifting away from our traditional eating habits, right? Maybe out here we don't have very young people. Yeah, some of them are young. The younger generation is just totally drifted away. Maybe we still have some connect with our traditional foods, because that has an impact on maintaining the gut. The prebiotics is nothing but the plant-based food. How many of you regularly have vegetables at home? Yes? See, there are few hands not going up. Evidence. Okay? So, these, vegetables or plant-based foods, they are not digested. Okay? These are the fibers that we are talking about, and it remains in the gut, and it becomes a food source for the good bacteria. Doctor did specify that we need to focus on improving the good bacteria in the gut. So how do we do that? By encouraging ourselves to have good amount of plant-based food, because that becomes the food for the good bacteria, because there is fermentation or, digestion, it happens, and these fibers are converted into short-chain fatty acids, we call it, which is nothing but the food for the good bacteria. So at least 1 to 2 servings every day is important. So how do we strengthen our immune system? By ensuring that we have all these nutrients in our plate. It can be vitamin A, C, D, zinc, selenium, omega-3 fats, and last but not the least, the protein. So ensure that you have vitamin A. How does that happen? We all know vitamin A is required for vision. Yes? But more than that, it is important to, maintain immunity. Vitamin A is required. So how do we get this from food? Animal sources being, dairy products, poultry, fish, or shellfishes, egg yolks. So vegetarians, you can ask me, hey, don't leave me. Vegetables, all colorful vegetables have beta-carotene, which can be converted into vitamin A in the body. So carrot, squash, pumpkins, name the colorful stuff, leafy vegetables. These are all good source of vitamin A, which you can have a variety so that you're not bored. Moving on to vitamin C, this had a lot of, boom during COVID, if I am right. All of you would have had a vitamin C pill every day. But take it from me, simple thing, citrus fruits every day. It can be oranges, mosambi, gooseberries, simple stuff. Every day ensure that you have a portion of these, because this also helps to block the entry of microbes into the system. That way you become more stronger. And vitamin D, I can tell you, preventive health checks, if you look at, vitamin D deficiency is on the increase. And people are treated for it. Okay? And how many of you feel fatigued when you go back home? You don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning? I do. You guys don't do? Yeah, there's Lakshmi there. Okay? So that is one of the symptoms. Okay? Many of us have that. Maybe we don't really give a damn to it, but it has an impact. Check your vitamin D, and the food sources being fatty fishes, milk, eggs, cod liver oil, fortified cereals. Why are we talking about it? Because when your vitamin D is low, you are more susceptible to infection. And moving on to zinc, these are the animal sources and plant sources. Animal sources, the usual stuff, and plant sources, a handful of nut every day. In this hall, how many of you have a habit of taking nuts every day? Does that become part of your snack in the meetings? That's one habit people have of late. Every day, make sure you have a handful of nut. It is about 30 grams. It can be almonds, walnuts, peanuts. These are all good stuffs. Any combination nuts are also okay. And zinc deficiency leads to a change in your taste buds, smell. So these were also symptoms during COVID, right? Still it is continuing. That's what Dr. Suresh mentioned. Selenium per se, it is nuts, brazil nuts, seafoods, eggs and whole grains. This also supports to, prevent from oxidative damage. And finally, omega-3 fats. There's a lot of talk about omega-3 fats. A decade back, they used to talk or correlate with heart disease, correct? And now we do talk about this because it has an impact in minimizing the inflammation of the body. So, avoiding non-communicable diseases or postponing them, this has a major role to play. So, if you are a non-vegetarian, I would encourage you to have at least 2 days of fish, fatty fishes. But don't fry them. Use it as a gravy or a grill, that would help. And if you're a vegetarian, I would encourage you to have walnuts, because walnuts are also good sources of omega-3 fats. And why are we talking about omega-3 fats? Because it helps to restore balance of the healthy microbiota. It has a relationship with gut, decreases inflammation, and strengthens the integrity of gut wall. Anti-inflammatory diet. It's nothing but foods rich in vitamin, antioxidants and omega-3 fats. So we did speak about vitamin A, D, E, K, which are nothing but the antioxidants, and omega-3 we did specify about fish and nuts. All these put together helps you to minimize inflammation in the body. Last but not the least, the protein. How many of you regularly have protein in your plate? Because it's a question. 9 out of 10 Indians do not have adequate protein. Simple. We don't even realize that we don't eat much of protein. Take it from me, it's about 0.8 to 1 gram protein per kg body weight. If you are 50 kg, you require at least 50 grams of protein. Ensure that you have your dal, pulses, your milk and milk products. If you are a vegetarian, only these two sources are, giving you protein. If you are a non-vegetarian, you have a longer list. You have the non-vegetarian sources, which really helps you to boost your protein. Because too little of protein, makes you feel weak, fatigued. You feel your immunity also goes down. That is why we encourage you to have protein in every meal, as well as It's not that one meal I have, I'm done for the day. It has to be split throughout the day so that the assimilation of protein is much better. Unless, if you're avoiding in one meal and focusing on one particular meal, it doesn't work well. Why are we talking so much on food? Is because chronic diseases are related to your dietary habit. Whether it is coronary heart disease or stroke or cancers, atherosclerosis or type 2 diabetes, where we are, heading the table. How do we tackle such issues? Increasing physical activity is a part of equation. Reducing weight or the calorie, the energy that you take is the main key as such. Unless you restrict on the diet that you eat, you won't be able to maintain your weight. Calorie restriction and aging goes hand in hand. Research proves that moderate calorie restriction without, becoming malnourished is vital as you get older. Ensure that you take, energy, nutrient-dense foods which are portion-controlled. So this is how your plate should look. How many of you look at your plate which, looks this way? It should be half a plate of veggies, quarter plate of protein, and quarter plate of your carbohydrate or your basic cereal. Many times, in South India, we eat half a plate or 3/4 of the plate with rice, correct? So it is important that we control the portion of carbohydrate or energy-dense food, which is very important. And the next important thing is the size of your plate. Don't count on a thali plate. It is a small size 9-inch plate. So there are so many diets are available. You Google it out. There are 1,001 diets, whether it is paleo or keto or name it, it's there. But how impactful it is in the long run is a big question mark. A complete balanced diet is what is a simple long-term solution. Bringing all the nutrients together in your plate in appropriate quantity is important. And this is the dietary recommendation where you find the base is your cereal and the top portion is your fat, which is going to be minimum. Which is the right way to eat to ensure that the foods that provide you with a lot of vitamins, minerals, and other health promoting components with little or no sugar, salt, and saturated fat. 3S. These three are very important that you cut down. Sugar, salt, and saturated solidified fats. How do you ensure that all these are part of your routine? By increasing vegetable and fruit intake, choosing whole grains instead of refined ones, using low-fat dairy, varying your protein sources, and limiting on the 3 S's that we discussed. So this is the plate that I want you to carry home, half a plate of veggies. So it takes care of your prebiotics also. And smart snacks, your nuts, your sprouts, your eggs, and never have, long gaps between meal. Because you might have a very low spell, your sugars can go down. And why we talk a lot on plant-based foods is because it has a good impact in maintaining your weight because of the fiber. It reduces cholesterol, it helps you to maintain your sugar, and overall inflammation of the body comes down with good amount of fiber. So at least eat 5 a day. 5 portions of veggies. It's a tough task, right? Every meal, make sure you have 2 cups of veggies and at least 1 portion of fruit every day. So it makes up to 5 cups. And why we talk so much about veggies is because of the fiber content, which really makes a difference in your overall health. As we discussed, it helps to improve the gut microbiota, especially the good microbes. So the sources being whole wheat, nuts, beans, leafy vegetables. And processed food has to be minimized, and whole grains or, foods which are whole, less processed are much better. and that is why we encourage a lot of millets. But I tell you, it is not possible to completely change to millets. At least weekly, once or twice, if you could have, it should be perfectly okay. And as we discussed, the 3S has to be nullified. Don't prefer to have processed foods, and especially these drinks, because you see, we don't eat so much of sugar, but why do we drink so much of sugar in Coke and Pepsi? Swap it to a good alternate. It can be coconut water, buttermilk, or some clear soups, which are healthy and it will not harm you. And emphasize this on protein, but not on the powders. There are a lot of youngsters who go with protein top-ups. It can be dangerous because they don't really connect with a clinician before taking it. So refrain from having extra protein top-ups unless it is prescribed by a dietitian or a doctor. Use a combination of oil, that is better, and use 25 to 30 mils. And those oils which are high in monounsaturated fats are much better. And hydration is very important, at least 8 glasses of water every day. And ensure that you do exercise at least half an hour, 5 days a week. How many of you are fitness freaks here? Okay, minimal percentage. So it is important that you do at least half an hour every day. If you want to lose weight, it has to be doubled. It is 300 minutes, per week. It can be any form of activity, walking, jogging, dancing, cycling, name it, whatever suits you, whatever you feel is very comfortable to you, make sure you do it, because it has an impact on, your energy expenditure, because you need to balance your intake with your output. And sleep, as Dr. Suresh discussed, people sleep only 5.5 hours, right? Especially people who are in a management cadre. But erratic sleep habits also has an impact on immunity. So it really stresses your body. The cortisol or the, stress hormones increase. And it leads to, non-communicable diseases. It is important that we relieve or I won't call it get rid of your stress or avoiding stress, because that's not practically possible. Try to minimize or manage your stress in such a way that the last 2 hours before you go to bed, you're more peaceful. Then your sleep pattern improves, because you need to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every day. Make the room dark, quiet, quit smoking if you are a smoker. Avoid afternoon naps if you are a person who does that. Avoid fatty food, because those who have heartburns, if they take spicy food, then it becomes difficult for them to sleep. And ensure that you avoid caffeine at least, after 5 o'clock in the evening, because that also hinders your sleep pattern. The take-home message is, make sure you have a balanced diet, incorporating more of plant-based foods, ensuring that you have a proper portion control, because you should understand each one's requirement is different. So according to your requirement, you should eat, and ensure that you try to minimize on your sugar, salt, and saturated fat. This is very important. And make sure you have your sleep pattern organized at least 6 to 7 hours every day. Drink at least 2 liters of water. And keep yourself active half an hour every day, 5 days a week. This will give you an overall well-being, improving your immunity, helping you to fight against diseases, as well as keeping a good quality of life. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. I have done my part to convey the message to you. It's in your court to take it forward. Thank you for your patient listening.
So good evening. I thank Mali and Captain Vijay Kumar for the invite and Dr. Suresh for making us all come here and talk about immunity. Our inbuilt, I think, superhero. Okay. So now that the stage has been already set talking about immunity, let's talk about the MVP, most valuable player, vaccines. So I'm going to talk about vaccines for strength, what every adult professional must know. How do I move this? Okay. I'm Dr. Madhumitha. You already had the introduction before. And I'm an ardent advocate for adult immunization. That's my passion. So let me ask you all one thing. How many of you in this hall have taken a vaccine in the last 3 years? There are some of you. That's nice. Last 3 years, you wouldn't have had your COVID vaccine. No, not the COVID vaccine. Any other vaccine in the last 3 years. Okay, now the hands have come down. Okay, how many of you know about a vaccine called influenza vaccine, and how many of you have taken that influenza? Mali, you should. Yes, hands up, straight. Okay, so there are a few who know about the influenza vaccine and you have taken. I think everybody, the previous two speakers have spoken about immunity and immunity. I'm sure you would have understood what immunity is. Immunity is your body's inbuilt defense system that fights off germs and keeps you healthy. How do I enhance it? I think that my previous speaker spoke about eat well, sleep well, move your body, stop stressing over every sneeze. Captain Vijay Kumar is now stressing, I have a time 7:30 limit. So just chill, okay? So we are just chilling right now. We need to just chill a little bit. Let me talk about, before vaccines, something about the human psychology. Way off topic from what I'm supposed to talk about. There's something called as cognitive bias and availability bias. You know what I mean by availability bias? I keep showing you something, you think that is true. 10 WhatsApp message about the same thing from 10 different groups, you think that is the truth. And you start believing that. Affirmative bias. And one of the availability bias right now is, you know what? Once you ask Google about the air crash, it will tell you about hundreds of air crash that has happened, and you will start believing that traveling by plane is not safe anymore. Understand that traveling by car is also not safe. Walking on the road is also not safe. So it's the availability bias. Affirmative bias. When your brain is such a thing that it doesn't want to be challenged. It always feels that I am right. Whatever I say is right. So when you start believing that this diet is the best diet, anybody gives you advice, something different, you don't want to take it. Optimism bias. It's very good. We need to be optimistic. It's a way forward. You keep moving. But you can't be delusionally optimistic. Will you stop taking insurance because you think nothing will happen to me? I am fine. You just have a slip because of a drop of water, end up with a backbone fracture, and you don't have an insurance. What would you do? You cannot have an optimistic bias like that. Denial. We just don't want to hear anything bad. We always want to hear good things. How many of you will accept that you have a disease? No. How can that happen to me? It's not me. Denial. We never accept things. And the last and most important thing for doctors, patients always love to hear what they want to hear. If I say for a hernia, you need to undergo surgery. No, give me something without surgery. Maybe like this tea. I take a tea and the hernia disappears. That's how we are. There are a lot of myths about health and medicine. We always think vitamins are wonder drugs and that is going to improve my immunity. In 3 months, my immunity is going to come from 0 to 100%. Vitamins are not wonder drugs. We need to worry about health only when something goes wrong. I am perfect, fit and fine. Patients who come to the hospital tell me, Doctor, I've never been to the hospital. This is the first time I've come to the hospital. We all do that. And we think antibiotics are miraculous drug. We don't need anything. We have a fever, we just take, as it was discussed, azithromycin. We take because antibiotics will solve all our problems. And the internet is a treasure trove of authentic information. You ask the WhatsApp doctor or your neighbor, they will say, hey, this was given to me. You take this, you will be fine. That is how things have become right now. And money can buy good health. Yes, we all think that, but how long will the money buy us good health? And like Dr. Suresh said, and now I'm going to go into all of these attitude biases, because the more and more I show you the same thing again, you will start believing what Suresh and me said were true things. So you will start accepting certain things. Why do infections happen? And how did it happen? And why did I get TB? Why do it happen? Why does it happen? If you know, the number of cells in your body is about 10 to the power 3 trillion. The number of microbes in your own body is 10 to the power 9 trillions. So you don't need anything from outside. You have everything inside you. Whether they behave good with you or behave bad with you is the way you treat them. So I always say, you are a mirror. It will show what you are. If you have bad habits, your microbes will show you bad habits. And so it can happen. It is there in the air. Anyone can get. And how can I get TB? I stay in an AC room. I travel by Benz. How did I get TB? I think COVID would have taught you all. There is nothing that there is a disease of poor or disease of rich. Infections can happen to anyone across any borders. Not that you are in India or you are in the US. You can get infections everywhere. Okay? So it's like saying that what is the difference between cold and COVID? If I get it, it's cold. If somebody else gets it, it's COVID. Not my problem. Okay. Some truth about antibiotics, because any infection we want to take, if you think it's a fever, fever is treated with antibiotics. Actually, fevers require paracetamol, not antibiotics. The tragic irony of the miracle, antibiotic way back was discovered by somebody called as Alexander Fleming. And at that time, there were a lot of people dying because of a lung infection, pneumonia. And he found this wonder drug called penicillin. It's still available, one of our cheapest medicines in our armamentarium. But it's of no use because we've been misusing antibiotics. And all the bugs, Darwin's theory of survival of fittest, all bugs want to live. So they've adapted to your antibiotics. You keep giving me, I will become more stronger. Because you've been feeding so much of antibiotics into the bacteria. And along with that, you've been causing self-harm. I think Suresh mentioned, there's so much of self-harm. Your good gut bacteria are now becoming bad bacteria and causing cancers. Where have we reached? And this problem of self-medicating is something which will never stop. So what is the common sense way to good health? Like Newton says, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Nowadays we have to add plus social media over action. Okay? Whatever I say will go on social media. Put it on social media. Probably the only way to prevent infections right now, including antibiotic resistance, is adult immunization. Way back when we started adult immunization, actually this concept of adult immunization, some 10 to 12 years back, you Google, because even I also used to Google, when you write adult immunization, this was a picture, because there was nothing like adult immunization in India. Immunization means you immunize kids. So why adults require? Because as I said, we have very optimistic bias, nothing happens to me. But now, there is a social media overreaction, okay? If I put Kamala Hassan in the photo taking a vaccine, all of you will take flu vaccine today. Today! But that's how COVID vaccine happened. You saw Rajnikant, you saw Hema Malini on picture, your dream girl was taking vaccine, we all took the vaccine. Imagine, it was safe water, which where a lot of infections came down. And after safe water, it is vaccinations which actually reduced the mortality and morbidity. There were four pictures that Suresh showed. One was about influenza, how the influenza pandemic came down. Polio, morbidity. Just imagine how many of us, if we didn't take that 2 drops of polio vaccine, how many of us would have been walking with a single limb or limping? Okay, none of us do that. And vaccines also reduce workplace abstinence. If you get flu, you're not going to go to work. You're going to lose your money. But if you don't have that problem, it improves productivity. And vaccinations also reduces families' healthcare cost and provides financial protection. Obviously, if I don't fall sick, I don't have to pay Dr. Madhumitha or Dr. Suresh's fee. I stay at home, I am fine, right? Why do we vaccinate adults? Imagine that the number of deaths in 2000, this is a paper in 2000, said that there were 60,000 adults who died of vaccine preventable disease, which was 200 times more than what was seen in children during that year, because children were all vaccinated, so they didn't die, but adults died because we are not vaccinated. Why am I talking about this vaccination? As Suresh said, the child is not born with any immunity, but the immunity grows because the child has some vaccination or there are some natural infections. So the immunity keeps growing. But after a certain age, the immunity also declines. Obviously, we're not going to fit into what clothes we wore as children, right? We need different clothes. And like Suresh said, we become balder, we go on to diaper, we have gray cells. So the immunity also grays. So what we call as immunosenescence, okay? And this is determined by your genetics, what other comorbidities you have, what physical exercise you do, what nutrition you do, what nutrition you take. So it is determined by all this. There is a difference between your chronological age and immunological age. Too many words, jargons. But yeah, so a same person of your age who's sitting next to you may be better immunologically than what you are because of your own exposures, what you have done all throughout your life. So you need to understand that along with your physical activity, eating, healthy eating, avoid smoking, screen for health condition. Every year I go do master health checkup. What does it say? It says that, yeah, your hemoglobin is fine, your vitamin D is low, your this is low, that is low. What did you do to protect yourself? I'm washing my hands, I'm wearing mask, I'm doing everything. But the base of this pyramid is vaccination. Like the way you vaccinated the child to grow with a good immunity. As an adult also, you need certain boosters to keep boosting this activity. This immunity. So what are vaccination? How do they work? Why do they need them? And like the owl, I have so many questions. First thing, we will eat pani puri but not think about the side effects. But if I have to say you have to take a vaccine, I'll say what is the side effect? Okay, we don't bother about the effects of things which have good effects, but we will ask only about the side effects. Who needs them and when do they need them? So why vaccinate adults again? Coming back to the same question. Protection from some of your childhood vaccination can wean off over time. Like your TT. So like Dr. Suresh said, I get a wound today, I get a scratch today, I take TT. Tomorrow I get a scratch, I will take TT again because I've been told that TT can kill you. As long as a dagger does, hang above your head, we don't go and take vaccine. That's how, when the death dagger of COVID was on our head, we all went and took the vaccine. But when we think that there are certain vaccines which can build your immunity, we still don't want to take them. There are certain viruses and bacteria which change over time. So you need repeated vaccines for them. Your immune system as you age goes down. So there are certain vaccines that you need for that, which you might not have taken as a child, like influenza and pneumococcus. There are certain immunocompromising condition, or, stress is also an immune depleting, I would say, immune depleting condition is stress. Just stress can get down your immunity. And that's when you get something called as herpes zoster or Aki. So which is basically a reactivation of your childhood chicken pox. You will get a line of blisters and it is pretty painful. And as an adult, you can infect others. I'm sure if you're following the news, there is a lot of news about measles in US. Why is there measles in US? Because many of them were not vaccinated. When we ape the West and we think that we should do a lot of things, don't ape the anti-vaxxers. Okay? Vaccination is very, very, very important. So there is outbreak in adults, measles in adults, because they've not been vaccinated. So there are a lot of deadly diseases which can be protected by vaccination, of which there were earlier 14, I made it 15 and I added a COVID vaccine. And with COVID vaccine, I'm sure you know that it has protected us. And today, if the pandemic was stopped, was probably because of the COVID vaccine. So how does these vaccine works? These are basically a protein molecule or a small part of the virus or the bacterial antigen, which actually are modified, and you develop immunity when you are vaccinated, because these vaccines imitate a natural infection. Okay, and when there is a difference between infection and illness. Infection is basically your body is trying to look into that antigen. Antigen means it's a particle which is going to mount that immune response. So this antigen mounts an immune response, but you don't get the entire spectrum of what would happen if you had a natural infection, like influenza. Like when you get influenza, I'm sure all of us would have had one influenza episode in our life, like you have severe fever, joint pain, running nose, headache, a full-blown influenza. But when you take a vaccine, probably you might have a single day of fever, because that's mounting an immune response. So that's how vaccines work. And remember, vaccines are to prevent disease. It's given in a healthy individual. Large number of people can take it, and it acts as the individual level and sometimes as the population level. I'm sure during the COVID you would have heard about herd immunity. If you vaccinate a lot of people, others also get protected. So it helps in a larger population. And these are well studied, so they are highly safe and you have minimal side effects. Whereas medicines is what you give when you actually have an infection. So it's given to treat a patient who is sick, and it acts only at that person. So if you are sick, you get treated. So what are the vaccines? I don't know if it's clearly visible, but this build-up was to say that there are so many biases. I'm showing this attitude bias again and again, saying that you need to change. There are a lot of evidences which say that vaccination improves your immunity. So what are the vaccines as an adult that I need to take? First is an influenza vaccine. Who can take it? Actually, influenza vaccine is given to anybody above 6 months of age. If you are 50 and above, definitely yes. The 30s and 40s, if you have any risk factors, like you have diabetes or you have some lung disease, kidney disease, so you have any risk factors, you need an influenza vaccine. And if you are pregnant, definitely you need an influenza vaccine. And influenza vaccine is taken yearly, what we call as annually, and this virus is something which keeps mutating or it keeps changing. So the vaccine also every year changes. You get new vaccine every year. So you need to take influenza vaccine every year. Second is, I said shingles. Shingles is what I call as Aki, okay? I don't know, in Hindi it's called as Dhapad and also something called as Nagin. Do you know how painful is shingles? Has anybody in this auditorium ever had shingles? Okay. There are few women. You might have had labor pain. The shingles pain is worse than a labor pain. So you can imagine how painful it could be. and the pain doesn't stop after the blister disappears. The pain could linger around even for 3-4 months, and what we call as post-herpetic neuralgia. It's really, your quality of life is really spoiled because of the pain. So, am I somebody who can get herpes zoster? Actually, the study says that 90% of all adults above 50 years would have been exposed to chickenpox at some time in their life, and this herpes is basically reactivation of chickenpox. So 1 in 3 people can get herpes zoster at any time in their life. So right now we have a wonderful vaccine called as Shingrix, which it comes in 2 doses. You need to take 1, followed by after 2 months you take the second shot. It is for anybody and everybody above 50 years of age. Okay, and this is something again, we talk about cocooning. Why should I take? I'm healthy, the healthy bias again. But if there are people in your house who cannot take the vaccine, you are going to form a protective ring around them. So you don't get sick, the other person also doesn't get sick. The other vaccines, I think Dr. Suresh mentioned, DPT, tetanus. You keep taking tetanus shots every year, but things have changed. There is another thing called as pertussis. You have a combination vaccine, Tdap, which is tetanus, diphtheria and pertussis. As an adult, anybody above 18 years of age. I'm sure many of you would have kids or grandchildren also at this point, and you would have seen in their schedules, there will be a lot of medicine at 6, 10, 14 weeks, DPT, hepatitis B, influenza. I think now we don't include influenza in the kit. Yeah, DPT, hepatitis B, IPV, which is, we don't give any more of the oral polio in the UIP. We give injectable polio vaccine. Oral polios for kids are still given as your pulse polio programs. So these are vaccines that we have taken as child, but as an adult, you need 1 booster. So at one point, any adult above 18 years requires a Tdap vaccine. The fourth and the most important vaccine is a pneumococcal vaccine. This is an infection, it's a bacterial infection. Like influenza is a viral infection of the lung. Pneumococcus is a bacteria which causes lung infection. And in elderly, there are 4 times than that of the younger population. And older adults have a higher rate of hospitalization and are more likely to die as a result of community-acquired pneumonia. This is a bug where Alexander Fleming got the miracle antibiotic. It's still useful, but if you get an infection, it can be very serious. You now have a vaccine which can prevent this infection. There is something called a severe form of pneumococcal infection, which we call as invasive pneumococcal infection, which doesn't just affect your lungs. It can go into your blood, it can go into your brain and cause brain fever. So to prevent that, you have a vaccine. So you need 2 doses of this vaccine. They come in different forms. Talk to your doctor about the pneumococcal vaccine, and depending on your age, depending on your risk factors, they will tell you which vaccine to take and when to boost that vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine, I'm sure some of you would have heard about it. Hepatitis B is a virus which spreads through blood transfusions. It spreads through contaminated needles. So there is a vaccine to prevent this. Why should I prevent hepatitis B? Because hepatitis B can progress to chronic liver disease. It can also progress to liver cancer. So you have a vaccine which can prevent a cancer. Similarly, there is another vaccine which can prevent a cancer, which is HPV, human papilloma virus vaccine, which generally is recommended in children. It starts from children. So 9 to 15 years. Now they have extended till 26 years of age. You can take both girls and boys, and they require 2 shots if they are less than 15 years. More than 15 years, they require 3 shots. Beyond 26 years, there is a limited advantage of taking the vaccine, but this is a vaccine which will prevent cervical cancers. So according to my age, what do I need to do? If you are between 19 to 50, if you have any immunocompromising conditions, like you have HIV, I don't think any of us have, if you are on steroids because of any other problem, because steroids reduce your immunity, so you need to take 4 vaccines. 1, the influenza, Tdap, hepatitis B you can take, and the 4th one is pneumococcal vaccine. Right now there is recommendations for certain chronic health conditions in people between 90 to 50 to take the pneumococcal vaccine. Anybody above 50 can take all the vaccines. But there's always this vaccine challenge. I spoke so much. I don't know how many of you will go back and take, but the women, if you ask them to take Botox, they don't fear those injections. But the minute you take a vaccine, they fear that needle. Okay? It's like the COVID vaccine. Vaccine situation in India is like looking for a bride for marriage. First, you're not ready. Then you don't like any. Then you don't get any. Those who got are unhappy, thinking maybe the other one would have been better. So it's like, now COVID, there are 3 cases, everybody wants to know in the WhatsApp, is there COVID vaccine available? When it was available, that time we didn't take it. But now we want to take it. And this is another thing that WhatsApp spoiled us. There are so many people who died because of the COVID vaccine. We never looked into the number of people who got protected, the number of hospitalization that reduced, the number of death that reduced. But we thought about only the side effects because we always correlated everything to the vaccine, which may have been just a bystander. There were news which said that HPV, the lady who took the HPV vaccine died. You read the news inside that she died because of an accident, not because of, she was hit by a motorcyclist, not because of the vaccine. But that's how news are published. And we think that that was a causative agent. And like Dr. Suresh said, Google is there. Anything and everything you ask Google because it makes you feel that you were doctors since 1998. And even if you say you don't have any symptoms, Google will say that is one of a symptom, not to have symptoms. And what is the most worst thing about social media? It will show you something else which is not the truth. And that is what happens in social media. So remember, never compromise on health. When you may have a cheaper or your budget may be low, but that doesn't mean that, you should use it on buying gold and not vaccines, okay? Because wealth is nothing when you don't have health. So change in belief should precede behavioral change. If you don't worry about health, it is going to go away. And that quote was from Goethe. I have also mentioned it. See, again, when you have group of doctors, they would say the same thing to make you believe that that is the truth. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. So like the owl which asked me too many questions, don't forget to take your vaccines. Otherwise, you will become an endangered species. Feel free to ask any questions that you want. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lakshmi. Thank you so much for inviting me, Dr. Suresh and Captain Vijay Kumar and Sir also. So it's a great opportunity to have such a lovely audience and so many people attending online also. So it was a pleasure seeing the income generation by doctors, the list of doctors, your list of doctors. I was desperately searching for my specialty in that list. As usual, I couldn't find it because rehabilitation is a less known specialty. I would say we have been hidden. The corporates have hidden us because we are the doctors who help people to get out of the hospital faster and prevent them from getting back to the hospital. So I told this to a patient and he asked, well, then why did they hire you? So that is what we do. So we try to cut short the length of hospital stay, and in case you get discharged, we help you to prevent readmissions. So that's all in a lighter sense. So in the Western world, this rehabilitation medicine is a well-established specialty. Because in India, the health preferences were different till now because we were poor. And we didn't have enough money to spend, the government doesn't have enough money to spend on the health system. The priority is to save lives in India. So, but the situation has changed, at least in the private hospitals. So the quality of life is what matters for us. Rehabilitation is a specialty which takes care of the quality of life. So the specialty is blooming in India now, especially in the private sector. So this, through this presentation, I will be focusing on how exercise helps to improve your quality of life, improve your work performance, and all these things. Exercise helps with longevity of life. That means it helps you to live longer. Everybody knows that. And this is the approximate age that you can gain by doing regular exercises. So living longer is not enough. You need to live a good quality life, no? So you should be able to deal with all the lemons that life throws at you. So you need to be able to face life with confidence and live a blessed life. So how does exercise help with that? So somebody did a study in Bristol University. So they studied 200 employees working in 3 organizations and evaluated their performance at work. For those who were exercising, they compared the people who were not doing a workout before attending the job and those who did a workout before coming to the job. These were the findings, that 21% had higher concentration, they had higher chance for finishing their work on time, higher likelihood of working without unscheduled breaks, and 41% had a feeling of better motivated to continue to work. So that was the effect that they could find. But unfortunately, so many of us, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men are not engaging in regular physical activity. So that kind of correlates a bit. We are on the poorer side when Madam asked for the number of people exercising regularly. So I'm running a cardiac rehab program at Apollo Greaves Road. So this is these are the gains that the program gives. The program includes exercise, diet, and risk factor control. So this, by doing regular exercise, you can see all our organ systems get benefited. And one among the organ system is our immunity. So it reduces inflammation and reduces inflammatory cytokines. So you can see that all the organs are getting benefited through not only exercise. As you can see, don't confuse that cardiac rehabilitation is just about exercise. It also includes nutrition and risk factor control. And one most important thing, stress control. Sleep, 5.5 hours of sleep is not at all enough. 7 to 8 hours is recommended. So the wealth you have gained, you might lose through the health if you get hospitalized. So try to save money by sleeping more. I've seen young people getting heart attacks just because of the poor sleep schedule and increased stress. People in their 40s and late 30s are becoming more and more common nowadays. So this is another study by Neiman, which was published in 2018. So they studied multiple factors with regard to exercise. So they could find that there is increased immunity, and I'll talk about in detail. So one thing that I want to mention here is what they found is that there are some nutritional interactions. If you are doing a workout, if you're having water, they compared people who had water in between exercise and you had a bit of banana in between exercise. So those who had banana had better, less inflammation post exercise. So little bit of carbohydrates during the exercise helps. Make sure it's not junk, but something healthy like dates or those who are working out regularly, please have it. So it's better than water alone. So exercise reduces the stress hormones. It's a two-way. It kills all the bad cells. So when our immunity, basically the function is prevent an external attack, and it should not do a self-attack also. So during exercise, what they found is that all the harmful, the attacking ability of the body increased. That means if a tumor cell or if a pathogen enters the body, if a bug enters the body, our body was able to resist it better. And at the same time, the inflammation in our body, the basic cause of heart attack is also inflammation, that swelling that happens within the vessel walls of the heart. So that swelling and the inflammatory tendency of our body came down. Vitamin D deficiency, all this is linked to the inflammation. Autoimmune diseases are on the rise because our body has started attacking itself because of our lifestyle and the gut microbiome changes. Our ancestors were used to this twice daily eating schedules. They were busy at work. They never got time to eat on time. So our gut bacteria is used to only twice a day eating schedule. When we put too much of food inside, the gut microbiome is getting choked and not having enough rest time. That is the concept behind intermittent fasting. That is also helpful. So actually when we consider workout, there was a moderate workout is better. Rather than suddenly deciding one day to join the gym and start working out, it actually increased the chance of infections. That is what this study found. There is a J curve where if you suddenly start overdoing, it can harm your body. So keep doing at a moderate intensity. That is the best. So what is regular? About 30 minutes, 5 days a week of moderate intensity. If you don't have time to exercise 30 minutes of aerobics every 5 days, you can also do high intensity training, 20 minutes, more vigorous exercise, at least 15 to 20 minutes a day is a must. So it is not only aerobic. When I ask cardiac patients about their exercise, all of them says that we were going for a walk regularly. When I ask them how fast you were walking, they would say that I used to walk very slow or at a moderate speed. That is not enough. You should feel some exertion. The criteria is that when you exercise, you should not be able to sing a song, but you should be able to speak. That is the correct level. So it should not be too light, it should not be too hard. That is the moderate level of exercise. And doing it for 30 minutes is what is recommended for aerobic training. Aerobic training means cycling, walking, jogging, anything that you can sustain for a longer time. The other type of exercise is strength training. Strength training means a little bit of weight and less repetitions. So what the muscle builders do, but you can do it with a lighter weight. They have done studies saying that the strength of your thigh muscle is the one decisive factor which determines how fast you come out of the hospital once you get hospitalized. So having good thigh muscle strength, especially in the elderly people, they get out of the hospital faster. So because of the busy schedule, if you find it hard to work out on a regular basis, I'll give you some tips. So color walk is a strategy. Color walk is just taking one color, choosing one color when you at the start of the walk, and you try to find the color in the surroundings. If you walk through a road, you just try to find the yellow color wherever it is, and it's like a color walk meditation they call, because you're not supposed to use your phone, you're not supposed to think about anything else, just about the color. and just focusing on that, living in the present. So it also helps you to walk longer. It improves the cardiovascular fitness, lower the heart disease risk, reduce stress, increase energy and mood, better quality sleep, stronger bones and muscles, improved immune function. For all the CEOs, please take good care of yourselves, then only you can manage well. And you can be more productive if you exercise regularly and sleep well. And these are other strategies. If you don't find time to exercise, you can just integrate it with your daily routine. We all take bath daily, so you can just do this is something called kitchen sink exercise. While people are cooking, especially elderly, they were encouraged to do these exercises. It's simple and in standing. You can see those 4 pictures. You can do that in the kitchen sink, near the kitchen sink. So like that, integrating it to your daily activity. Do some squats like while you are brushing or taking a bath. It's an easy way. So it will make sure that you will do it daily at least. So another thing, interesting thing is exercise snacking. We all go for a snack in between when we are tired at work, we just go for a tea and come back. Instead of having the tea, you can just take a round of exercise and come back. That is the new recommendation. Sitting is not new smoking, of course. But exercise snacking is a new way out, where you are exercising from somewhere from 10, it can be anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes. So it need not be a very long time break. And it could be just climbing the stairs and coming back, or just going for a round and coming back. So climbing stair in the sense, if you climb stairs, you are exerting more, and when you are on the landing, you are still exercising at a lower intensity, and then you are climbing the ramp, it's at a higher intensity. That is what is called high intensity interval training. So jogging and walking in between, not really stopping in between, continuing the exercise, but at a lower level. That is called high intensity interval training. That is the most beneficial. So we do have a cardiopulmonary rehab program at Apollo. So anybody with heart can join. So you are welcome to make use of the services. We have both direct outpatient program and tele program as well. Tele, it's not a physiotherapist doing online physio, but we teach people who do exercise at home, and the doctors will monitor and recommend the progression. Exercise sessions are well monitored, and ECG monitored sessions. Thank you so much.
What a fascinating evening. I think most of us gained, and we'll take care of health now. Due to paucity of time, so many questions have come. We have over 720 viewers watching it online. Sorry, we are unable to take any questions today, but we'll try and answer. I can assure you all the questions what you have come, most of the things have already been answered. We'll share this link with you. It's already available on YouTube. Because of paucity of time, we already overshot 7:45, hence we are not able to take any more questions. Now I took Mali to please come on stage, do the honor of giving more books for them to read, management books. They give us a lot of thought on medicine, and maybe Sundar, you can join us on stage.
Come in front. Thank you, doctor. No. Thank you so much. Amazing. You have that attention. 710 is a good number for viewers. I think we promote it on YouTube, so you'll get more and more. All of you, I think, will get individual also as RS.
It's all about management. People who spoke combined with the video.
Vijay is planning an article on this.
So sometimes your article also be published. We are now doing that.
Monthly, promote.
Come with the transcript.